She has been blindfolded for 42 hours. Two children sit in front of her, also blindfolded. And right now, something is following their boat. A voice calls out from the river, calm, friendly. You don't need the blindfold anymore. If they take it off, they won't survive. Because in this world, the moment you see it, your own mind turns against you. People don't get killed. They kill themselves. And no one who has seen it has ever lived to explain what it looks like. This is how the world ended. But what started all of this was even more terrifying. 5 years before that river, Mallory Hayes is 8 months pregnant, recently divorced, and completely disconnected from the news. She's an artist. She paints. The world outside her studio has been noise she stopped listening to months ago. Her sister Jessica arrives one afternoon with a different kind of news. People are emptying grocery stores. Something is coming. Mallory turns on the television. Every channel is reporting the same thing. A mysterious outbreak has consumed Eastern Europe. The symptoms are unlike anything medical science has seen. Anyone who encounters the entity immediately loses the will to live. It doesn't infect the body. It takes the mind, turns it against itself, kills from the inside. Mallory doesn't take it seriously. Europe is far away. At the hospital the next day, her doctor asks if she's ready to be a parent. Mallory hesitates before saying yes. On the way home, she sees a woman slamming her head repeatedly into a glass pane, not in distress, methodically, like someone completing a task. Europe is no longer far away. What follows happens in minutes. The city collapses in real time around Mallory and Jessica. People are dying everywhere, cars colliding, bodies falling, the specific chaos of a world coming apart simultaneously in every direction. Jessica steers through it. They're almost clear. Then, Jessica's eyes go still. She's staring at something Mallory cannot see, something only Jessica can see. Mallory grabs her, shakes her, screams her name. It doesn't matter. The next second, the car crashes. They escape the wreck, and Jessica, still staring at the invisible thing, commits the unthinkable. Mallory doesn't have time to grieve. A woman leaves her house to help her, despite her husband screaming not to, and immediately sees something in the street that makes her walk calmly into a burning car. The explosion kills her instantly. A man named Tom pulls Mallory inside a house. She is 8 months pregnant. Her sister is dead. The world ended 12 minutes ago. Inside the house, survivors. Greg, who owns the property. Douglas, a man who trusts no one. Charlie, a grocery store worker who believes this is the end of days. Tom, who keeps moving because stopping isn't an option. They board up every window, cover every door. The rules are immediate and absolute. No one looks outside. Not for any reason. Not ever. Here's what they know about the entity. It cannot be touched. It cannot be fought. It doesn't need to enter the house. It only needs someone to look at it. One glance. That's all it takes. Whatever a person sees when they look at it, the entity shows them something so overwhelming, so devastating, that they immediately try to end their own life. Nobody knows what it looks like. Nobody who has seen it is alive to describe it. Whatever it shows them, it's different for every person. Tailored. Personal. The one thing guaranteed to break you specifically. And it has never once failed. The survivors settle into an uneasy routine. Then another pregnant woman, Olympia, arrives at the door, begging to be let in. Douglas refuses. The others overrule him. Mallory and Olympia find each other immediately. Two women carrying children into a world that has stopped making sense. They make a promise. If one of them doesn't survive, the other will raise both children. Mallory gives Olympia a Hello Kitty toy as a baby shower gift. Greg has an idea. He'll watch the CCTV footage, cameras outside pointed at the street. He doesn't look directly. He watches through a screen. The entity finds him anyway. They hear the gunshot from downstairs. When they find Greg, the camera is still running. They destroy it immediately. The food runs out. Mallory, Tom, and a few others cover the car windows with black paint and use GPS to navigate blind to a nearby grocery store. Inside the store, they stock up fast, and Mallory finds birds in a cage, takes them. She doesn't explain why yet. They're almost done when a man starts screaming from inside a walk-in freezer. He's been trapped for days. Tom opens the door. The birds immediately go wild. The man is not a man anymore. He's a messenger of the entity, sent to infect others. Charlie understands what's happening before anyone else can react. He throws himself into the freezer and holds the man inside, buys everyone else time to run. Charlie doesn't make it out. That night, Machine Gun Kelly and his girlfriend steal the only vehicle and disappear into the dark. Then Gary arrives. Olympia lets him in without asking anyone. The group is furious. Douglas points a gun at him and demands he leave. Cheryl knocks Douglas out with a vase before he can follow through. Gary is allowed to stay. He seems normal. He tells them there are people outside who have learned to coexist with the entity, people who don't need blindfolds, people who have somehow made peace with what they saw. But Gary isn't looking for a sanctuary. He's looking for an audience, and he's about to make everyone watch. While everyone is upstairs, Mallory and Olympia going into labor simultaneously, Gary moves through the house quietly. He puts the birds in the refrigerator so they can't warn anyone. Then he starts tearing the newspaper off the windows. Olympia delivers first, a girl. The room is briefly genuinely happy. Then Gary walks in and raises the window shades. Mallory turns away in time. Olympia doesn't. She sees it, whatever it is, and her face changes completely. She hands her daughter to Mallory. Then she's gone. Cheryl is forced to open her eyes. She's gone too. Douglas arrives with a gun. He and Gary struggle. Douglas dies. Tom finishes Gary before he can kill anyone else. The house that started with a room full of survivors is now just Tom, Mallory, and 2 newborn children. 5 years pass. The 4 of them have built something in the woods, quiet, contained. The children have grown up in blindfolds. They know no other life. Tom has asked Mallory repeatedly to give them names. She refuses. Names feel like attachment. Attachment feels like loss she can't afford again. They hear infected people in cars outside one night, hunters searching for the uninfected. This place is no longer safe. Then Mallory's walkie-talkie comes alive. A man named Rick, a compound down the river, supplies, shelter, safety. But to reach it, they'll have to navigate dangerous rapids, blindfolded, with 2 children. Rick is clear about 2 things. The river is not safe for children, and the birds are the key. Tom wants to go. Mallory doesn't trust anyone anymore, not after Gary. They don't resolve it because the infected find them first. Tom tells Mallory to take the children and run. She almost doesn't. He pushes her toward the door. She goes. Tom takes down several of them before taking a bullet. Outnumbered and bleeding, he makes a decision. He pulls off the blindfold. For the first time in 5 years, he looks. He lets the madness in, just long enough to turn his gun on the hunters. And once the job is done, he follows his sister into the dark. Mallory doesn't know this yet. She's already at the river. She's already briefing the children. Blindfolds on. Don't remove them. Not for anything. 42 hours on the river. A man's voice approaches their boat in the dark, calm, gentle, offering food, telling her it's safe to look, that the entity is friendly, that she can remove the blindfold. She strikes him with a machete before he reaches the boat. The entity speaks to her through the trees as they walk, whispers her name, tells the little girl to look at the beautiful green forest just for a second. The girl's hands move toward the blindfold. Mallory arrives in time. The boat capsizes in the rapids. She grabs both children in the dark water by feel alone, gets them to shore, gets them into the woods, follows the sound of the birds. A door opens. Rick. The compound, a former school for the blind. The people here were never vulnerable. The entity showed them nothing because they had nothing to show it to. Dr. Lappin, Mallory's doctor, the one who asked if she was ready to be a parent 5 years ago, is there. She looks at the children and asks their names. Mallory thinks for a moment. "Olympia," she says, "and Tom." She opens the bird box and lets the birds go. Bird Box is a film about a woman who survived by never looking at the thing trying to destroy her, who raised 2 children in darkness to keep them safe, who gave them the names of the people she lost because the only thing she had left to give the dead was a future. The entity showed people something so unbearable they couldn't survive it. Mallory never looked, and she survived everything. If this one stayed with you, the next video on Popcorn Tales is already up.